This is your daily market review for Monday, July 1st, 2024. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your daily market review for Monday, July 1st, 2024. Hopefully you had a good weekend. Looking forward to a great week this as well. We know going into this week, it's seasonally typically bullish, holiday weeks, but we have been holding up pretty well. End of month, end of quarter, been choppy and sloppy. This is going to be a hard one to predict this week. I think you're going to just have to trade the extremes, know your levels. And again, I see the economic data getting worse. It's interesting how the bond market's reacting and then the housing market. And again, today, new money, new quarter, first 3 business days of the month. If you have a chance, need to check out the first 3 and last 3 business days of the month video that I've created. It talks about window dressing, new money coming in from the 401ks and all the different avenues of which money is invested for long-term purposes. And again, it comes plowing in typically on the first day of the month. Knowing that, well, earnings season is coming up, starting, I think, next week. You'll get a few bank earnings. Either way, there's a lot going on. And so, again, on these light volume weeks, you can get pushed around. And again, it feels like a little bit of a trap. I don't know if you saw the close, but again, certain names ripping, certain names not. So if you're new to the channel, check out the Discord room, the link in the description below. If you want to follow on Twitter, post all the trades here on the tweets. If you want to chat, hit me up. This is the easiest way to do it. Oops, let me get back to availability, Calendly. Yeah, hit me up anytime. Again, available. Check the schedule. Love to reach out. Whether you're buying, selling, investing in real estate, talk about trading, want to talk about some of the videos, have any questions, here to help. Check out the website as well. Let's do it. Let's turn those profits into passive income and properties. Check out the recommended reading. All your latest tweets, latest videos, everything. Worth it. Marcus, again, Goldman Sachs does not seem to be going out of business. Also, follow, like, hit the subscribe button. Here is that video perfectly for you. I apologize if it starts popping off.
Last 3 and first 3 trading days of the...
There it is. There's the video. I apologize. The volume is a little loud, but you get the point. Check this video out. It should be helpful, very educational. So what do we know? Well, we know the Feds aren't doing anything in July, right? Unless economic data gets extremely worse, which, again, it is. I mean, Atlanta Fed, again, came out and downgraded GDP big time. We know the Feds are stuck. We know September is the first one, and this keeps creeping up. Because remember, it used to be November. And now it's creeping up to September. Again, people in the know what's going on. The nose knows, right? I don't think that is correct. Come on, Bitcoin. We know Bitcoin is, again, like gold, new money, new month. I mean, there's a lot going on. A lot of people have very strong, I don't know what's the best word, they're like, I can't go up, can't go down. It's like, guys, folks, friends, it's in a trading range. We talked about look for extremes, potentially could get back to the top of the range. I don't know. Your biggest worry, if you were a bull, is that this counterbounce fails and it leads to lower prices. If you're a bull, you need to get back up to the high. So bears looking for a counterbounce fail. Bulls need a breakout. Oils, we've talked about holding up pretty well. I mean, this has got to be pissing off the Feds because, again, they'd love to see oil get back down to $40, $50, $60 range. But not so much. Keep an eye on it. Natural gas. Again, I love this trade. We've talked about expecting some pullbacks. If you take out this 250 area, I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't come back down to some 2 area, maybe 150 at some point. Either way, the trade for natural gas long, shorting KLD. Again, we talked about taking profit, being patient, letting it play out. The dollar, again, the best turd in the toilet, floating out of the rest of the world's currencies. Bond market, this is, again, a little confusing to me. But, again, this is why I'm not trading bonds. I'm just watching them. Today's action is a huge gap down. And either it's a reversal gap down or it's the start of a big move gap down. Your guess is as good as mine. Near term, it could fluctuate, but something doesn't look right. Went on red alert, just watching. It's interesting because the bond market getting a little wide and loose is silly. But then the VIX just so low. Vivek, someone sold that today back down towards I wouldn't say the range lows, but broke this little channel. Okay, Again, things that don't make sense. You would think the VIX going down, but the SPY, TLT going down, SPY would be, I don't know, just moving. No, not really. Tight range. Again, seems to be holding this 542. QQQ got a pump with the new money, new month. Holding. Again, this is interesting because you got like long wick central here, but still stuck at the 8 and 10 day. Notice the volume on the down candle was higher than the up candle. IWM continues to lag. This is red flag nation. Look at that. Gaps up. Not gaps up, sorry. Yeah, it does gap up slightly. Gives it all back. Danger, danger, danger. Dia. Same kind of thing. Chopping. Not really leading. Gold. Honestly, start the month. It's just in a big range. It kind of reminds me of like Bitcoin, all these. It's just, again, I'm waiting for the Feds to pivot. I'm telling you, when they flush the liquidity in, then you can buy without any hesitation. At this point, you're kind of playing a game here. Be careful. Silver, same thing. Again, we like the miners when they get smoked. So at this point, dust makes sense to me. GDXJ. Again, all these names just in choppy, sloppy chop ranges. AEM, again. This one is interesting because to me, AEM is a name worth buying for the long run when it pulls back. It's been holding up better. AG, I mean, this is what's hard for folks who are like in silver. It's like, why is the miners leading down? Why are they acting like crap? Like Newmont should be in the 80s, in the 40s, PAAS, same kind of thing. It's been leading, holding up better. That and AG look way better. I mean, we can go into deeper miner stuff at some point. I mean, I kind of like this NFGC at some point. Now, not now. Just letting it kind of do out. I'll just run through the miners real quick. These are names that I would all be watching. FNB. We like these royalty names. Again, let them play out. Definitely like the Wheaton Precious. Been holding up really well. Royal Gold's another one that I kind of always keep an eye on. Oh, what's another one? I kind of like MAG. MAG has been a good one, right? For silver. Again, just patience, patience, patience. Did I say patience? Yeah, patience. Let them play out. Taiwan Semi. Again, this one blew out higher than I thought. Not surprising. The top is in. Just watching the 20-day. Micron, man, broke the lows, got towards the 50-day. Doink, bounced. Okay, new money, new month. Posted that on Twitter in the Discord room. Wouldn't be surprised if it bounced there. AMD, man, what an absolute turd. Trying to break the channel, but just chopping around. NVIDIA broke the 20-day. Was feeling like it was looking good, but I mean, we closed right at it. This is what's tricky here, right? You go from overbought, you get oversold near term, you chop around. This is kind of as I was talking about, like if you're a bear for Bitcoin, you want to see these dead cat fake bounces and then boom, crash. SMCI. Again, I expect NVIDIA to go lower. Everyone's all in. I mean, again, we get in that narrative another time. In a big range, 10 cuidado, intellectual property. Got over like the 20, chilling at the 50-day. I mean, this thing has just been a dog. If you like dogs, there you go. You can walk that thing out and go nowhere for a while. SMH broke the 20-day, and then it came back. I mean, these are choppy days, hard. Adobe's, watching this one. Adobe. Again, I like the short here. There's multiple. Again, we haven't made really a multi-day range. We keep making new highs, so I'm not going to step in on that. Apple got the pump this morning and then into the close. We'll see. Again, I mean, if you want to short it, it makes sense to me. The Amazon, again, this was we talked about on Friday. Not surprised that it pulled back. Would it get bought? You had a multi-day range. When it opened this morning, held it, you could have played the long. Congrats if you did. Meta. Interesting candle, right? Looked like it was about to toast. Doji now. Keep an eye on it. Doji sandwiches. Anyone hungry? Grab a lunch, Snicker bar. CRM, we talked about this being oversold near term. Kind of feels like, oversold. Bounces back to a major moving average of 50. Here's your short reference. If you have a short reference, if you like this one, I mean, 258, 260 looks real juicy. Juicy J. Guggenheim, been holding up pretty well. Hit the channel high. Microsoft got the poon in the end of the day and just, right, got that lift off. Holding up pretty well. And the first of the month trap, good question. NDAQ, as we talked about, I love this short. I think the exchange gets beaten in time. Everyone will be baiting on commodities. No one will be playing tech. That's how things go. Tech has always been around. It goes in cycles. Again, I could have this conversation over and over and over and over again. MicroStrategy. Again, it's just following Bitcoin, in my opinion. And well, actually, it's leading. but it's not far. You know, like Bitcoin bounced. If this starts lagging, you got to be scared for Bitcoin to come back down to 60, 58,000. Netflix been holding up pretty darn well. Nothing you can say with that. 20-day seems to be holding. The roadblocks, again, we like this long term on dips. Again, I think this is just, it's hard to chase here. If anything, it looks like it would be a short there. Pan W, we talked about. Again, love cybersecurity names. Only problem is, again, I don't trust it. Again, you can trade this stuff. We talked about it. You can go long and go short and do whatever you need to do. Near term, again, if the market starts getting squirrely. Tesla, we talked about there was an up trade here holding the 100-day. You got it. You're into the blue zone. How much higher? I don't know. Maybe you get into the trends. Maybe you get up to the 220s. I mean, again, if you're long, roll up your stops, define your risk. If you were short, you better have gotten the hell out. No one would say stick around on that, friends. Insight, here you go. Love this. I mean, again, I think they get bought out at some point. Why, how? I don't know. It just seems logical. Market cap, valuation, pipeline. Again, you don't have to be a rocket science to value companies. I go, this might make sense for someone to buy out. And again, if they actually hit on a drug or two, you get real valuable. Microsoft, sorry, not Microsoft, McDonald's, man, you better hold that 240s. DKNG, again, we talked about this being a short, oversold, near term, chopping around. Congrats. I mean, this one's, again, patience. Airbnb, chopping around, holding up pretty well near the 50-day. Costco, we've talked about this one being a boss. It's at the 20-day. I mean, they're actually even now going to be doing apartments. Do you have to be a yearly member subscription to get even an opportunity to buy rent an apartment or buy one? What do they not do? Starbucks, we talked about this being a turd, 50-day, backing off. Federal Express, again, I like the short up here, but trying to be patient. You got a multi-day range. I'd be watching 300 plus. Caterpillar talked about this one leading up and started to, you know, they've got earnings probably potentially coming up. I'd be watching these levels, but again, this looks like a downtrend, folks. Nucor, again, we like materials long run, but you got to be careful with them short term. Again, I'm not really into shorting materials. They seem to be holding up when they hit these levels. Perfect. VALE, again, this thing should hold the 11 range. This is a big long-term arrow bottom. Arrow, again, we like copper. Just the move was over. Here you come into resistance. Be careful. This could be a head and shoulders top, y'all. Breaks the 100-day. Lots of room. If it holds up, good for bulls. CCJ, and I don't like Goldman upgrading the stock. This candle on Friday was fugly. Fugliness, right? Ten cuidado, right? CF. Sorry, I'm getting a call. We talked about these things are big, choppy, sloppy, choppy ranges. Again, we like the eating complex, meaning you're going to need ag, but not right now. Mosaic. Chopping around. This one's tough. And they all are. I mean, I don't know what the right range is going to be to buy. I just know when the VIX spikes, we'll see what these names are doing. I have a feeling they're not going to have a lot of downside when the market does break because they are priced pretty cheaply. XLF, I mean, this thing was all over the place today. I was watching it. Pops at the open, gives it all back. Goes a little lower, then pops back to flat. 20-day, 50-day, worth a watch. JP Morgan held up pretty well. Got to give it credit where credit's due. Making new highs, going into its earnings. Is that sustainable? Morgan Stanley, Stanley Morgan. We've talked about this one holding up. They're not holding up, hitting that thing, kind of chopping around. Now today, holding up, filling the gap again. I don't think I'd be stepping in front of any specific name, but I do like the XLF short. Bank of America chopping at the highs. Again, Goldman Sachs, if you've got that Marcus account, looking pretty strong for the long run. KRE, again, junior banks lagging. Keeping on that 50 area. Here's where it's getting a little scary. XHB, again, with interest rates playing out. Look at the freaking housing index. Breaks the lows, especially new money, new month. You look at retail, right? Uh-oh. Again, this is just not looking good, y'all. I mean, if retail, banks are like, especially junior banks, housing starting to break. You know, is the market whistling past the graveyard, as we call it. Solar, we talked about. Solar's crap. If Trump's leading, solar's gone. Again, I'm not saying go out and short it at the high lows, but you're just watching this stuff. Sedge, I mean, you would think it'd be done. We talked about shorting in 300s. 300 strong. Now you're down at 23, and it still is not bottoming. ENPH, again, if if you think Trump is leading, solar is not going to be leading up. It's going to be leading down. First Solar had a decent little wick today on it, but again, the thing's oversold near term, but I like the idea of shorting pops. Again, you got to be out of your mind if you're thinking about buying corporate debt. Out of your mind. Out of your mind. Oil, holding up pretty damn well. This has got to be killing the feds. UNG, again, I hate the UNG. I hate it. I hate it. Hate it. Talked about double topping. Again, I like the KLD for a short. What did we say down to the 30s? Take some profits. Let it come back up. I mean, maybe that's range one. Another range gift would be somewhere around 60s. Again, it decays. I doubt it's going to get back into the 80s, but worth a watch. XOP, again, if Trump is leading, I think oil and gas should hold. But if the market flops, no guarantee. ExxonMobil popped on Friday, chopping around. You got multi-day ranges. CVE, again, we like this name long term. Could be a big cup and handle. I don't know. Interesting. Valero, oil and gas names have been getting kind of chopping around. Keep an eye on them. Again, they're just, this is why you watch the whole market, right? Occidental, again, we talked about Buffett is selling calls and puts, trading the range. EQT, again, if natural gas starts pulling back, this should drop back down into like the low 30s. That wouldn't surprise me. Would love a 20 handle. Last but not least, Flex LNG, again. We like the idea of natural gas exporting. This is a big move that's been consolidating, and this is what we talk about. No stock goes up forever. It's big moves, then consolidates. If it's a bullish long term, it should be bought. The base should be in. The market maker should be holding the levels. If you have any questions, again, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'll appreciate all the love, support. Hit the like button. Smash a comment in there or two. You guys are the best. I really do appreciate everybody. Have a great afternoon. See you tomorrow.